Griff O'Farrell is the true freshman shortstop, as he's been in the leadoff spot for Virginia. And just like that, he's behind 0-2 against Palmquist. Big part of the Virginia success this year is the true freshman position players who have stepped up in a major way. Palmquist with a long look in, and his 1-2 just outside.
Yeah, and for Palmquist, that's what he's going to do. He's going to go right after guys early on. He's going to make them swing the bat. You don't want to swing the bat? Fine, you're going to be in the hole. Problem is, he's going to have to turn these guys out with that slider.
That doesn't tempt O'Farrell. So 5 fastballs, and it's a full count on Virginia's leadoff man. 3-2 is fouled off. And Gabby, we talked with Carson Palmquist this week, and he said to us, in becoming a starting pitcher, his first time through the order, in something that longtime Miami pitching coach J.D. Arteaga preaches, fastball the first time through. And it's been 7 fastballs here out of the gates.
Well, that's what you want to do. If you're able to just show one pitch first time through the lineup, that means they haven't seen that slider and they haven't seen your changeup. Now, it's going to be hard because this Virginia team, up and down the lineup, they are good hitters.
Man, what a plate appearance from Griff O'Farrell. He sees 8 pitches and coaxes a leadoff walk against Palmquist.
And that's one of the things that J.D. Arteaga told me when I got to speak with him. He said this lineup is tough because they're professional hitters. They look to hit the ball up the middle the other way. So it's really hard to get them off balance. They will stay on pitches, and then they'll foul pitches off that are inside. So what does Carson Palmquist have to do? Well, he has to get that fastball and run it in. He has to get them to think in to open up his outside.
Well, that's a fastball up and in that misses to Kyle Teal, sophomore catcher, and like Palmquist, a preseason second-team All-American, according to D1 Baseball. And Teal comes in with an OPS just a shade below 1,000. And there's the first off-speed pitch. It's a slider for a land strike, and it's 1-1 on Teal. You know, Brian O'Connor said to us as well, for as good as Teal's numbers are, there's even more in the tank, and that's what gets the Virginia staff so excited about the rest of the season, in knowing that, as Brian O'Connor said to us, there's more to come with Kyle Teal's production this year.
Well, the thing is, too, is that everybody knows the name Kyle Teal. So now he's going to get pitched to a little bit differently. He's not going to just get those fastballs right over the middle of the plate. He's going to get some nasty pitches thrown at him.
Fastball at the top of the zone to make it 1-2 on the New Jersey native, who has transitioned this year into being the everyday catcher for the Hoos. O'Farrell at first in the top of the first, and another check on the shortstop who runs well. 11 out of 12 bags this year for Griff O'Farrell.
If I'm Carson Palmquist right here, I just finished getting a called strike at the top of the zone. I'm going to climb that ladder. I'm going to throw this one just a little bit higher up and see if he can get Kyle Teal to swing.
Here's the 1-2. And he did go to a fastball. He jams Teal. Morales gets Teal in time. Kyle Teal didn't even know where that one went. It's the first out. O'Farrell to second.
What a beautiful pitch by Carson Palmquist there. It's a fastball up and in at the hands. That's exactly where he was looking, where he wanted it. And what does he get out of it? It's real soft contact. I think if Teal doesn't swing at that ball, it might hit him right in the middle of the chest on his swing.
And like you said, he did elevate. And as you said at the start of the at-bat, he did come inside as well. And Palmquist gets his first out. Now brings up the veteran Devin Ortiz, fifth-year senior first baseman out of Nutley, New Jersey, just outside of Newark, who has been around a long time in this Virginia program. So again, 12 out of the first 13 pitches have been fastballs from Palmquist. And as a reliever, that's something that really stood out to Gino DiMari as head coach, that as such an effective closer, he basically was a one-pitch guy. And first time through, again, that is the strategy. Goes off speed there and misses. 2-0.
Yeah, here's the thing. Right now, he's missing arm side. So he stands a little bit more on that third base side of the rubber. Not all the way, but it's on that third base side. That usually tells me that when a pitcher does that, he wants to control that inside part of the plate to a righty. But he goes out so far that his arm release is close to first base. He needs to really close off a little bit more to get that ball to run back in over the plate, because right now he's just staying open.
He's leaking, correct?
He's leaking, correct.
From your days as an accomplished pitcher. 3-0. And it's a 4-pitch walk. He's got 2 aboard. A very aggressive hitter. And he goes first pitch swinging, and that clips Max Romero, the Miami catcher. And as Virginia fans know, and as we said, Jake Geloff is up there getting his money's worth. And so no surprise to see him go first pitch swinging against Palmquist, who's 0-1. He's down and away with a changeup.
Hey, it's a smart pitch there. See, because Jake Geloff, too, he will chase. So every once in a while, maybe throw him a pitch out of the zone, see if he goes out and goes ahead and swings at it. The only problem is when a guy's feeling as good as he's feeling at the plate, he sees that ball like a beach ball.
1-2.
And he takes those kind of swings as well. He has one thought in mind right now. Let's make this a 3-0 ball game real quick. And he's taking some big swings. And I like it. I like the aggressiveness of it. Carson Palmquist sees it as well. So you got to be smart as a pitcher. You can't leave something right over the middle of the plate. You're going to have to play with those edges.
Crowd getting into it. 2 aboard, 1 out. Palmquist 1-2. Got him swinging. Snap throw to first, kicks away from Kafis, the first baseman. O'Farrell advances to third, and Ortiz to second. So Palmquist gets the huge punch out. 2 away, but now 2 in scoring position.
It's a good fastball right on the corner, up and away. Great pitch by Palmquist. It's a tough throw. It really is a tough throw for Romero there to be able to make. I like the aggressiveness of it. If it's a good throw, you might have a chance to get the out, but it's one of those situations, too, where if that ball gets by, now you have 2 guys in scoring position with Alex Tappan coming up the bat.
And he has been outstanding this year. 5th-year senior from Pennsylvania, just outside of Philly. You see an OPS near 1,100.
There's no rest for the weary in this lineup. My goodness.
Strike 1 with a fastball from Palmquist. Carson Palmquist is a hard-nosed, intense young man. And he's trying to escape danger here against the best offense in the country right out of the chute. His 0-1. Up and in, and it's 0-2.
That's the pitch that Palmquist has to utilize, and he has to go to it again, a little bit higher. He's been getting guys to swing at that fastball up. If they're going to continue to swing at it, you can continue to throw it. Just keep going a little bit higher and higher, and the guys will chase. And this is a great pitch to be able to do it. An 0-2 elevated off the plate, up and in if you want to. You can even put it across home plate just to make it look that more appetizing. When a pitcher throws that ball on its eye level, you see it so well that you want to swing at it. A lot of times you can't catch up to it, though.
His 0-2 off the edge with a changeup, and Tappan showed restraint. By my count, that's only the fourth off-speed pitch we've seen from Palmquist in the first 23. 3 changeups, 1 slider. 1-2. Outside. So now it's 2-2 on Tappan.
Yeah, if I'm Romero here, instead of calling the fastball away, I might try to bring him back in. Either throw the slider or call for fastball in and see if that closes him off a little bit more.
With runners at second and third, 2 outs in the top of the first. Boy, this game just has a different feel to it right away. Two-two pitch. Got him swinging. Hung on to by Romero. And Carson Palmquist sticks with old number 1, Gabby.
Why is he not? He keeps getting the swings and misses. What a great fastball by Carson Palmquist to end the first.
Nice crowd at the Light on a Friday night in the ACC here in early April between the 2 best teams to this point in the conference. Miami gave up 0, and we'll see what they do offensively for the first time. CJ Kafis, you see him in the leadoff spot, and Dom Patelli is coming off a monster weekend in the sweep against Duke. He hit not 1, but 2 grand slams in that series win over the Blue Devils, and that's the Canes group for Gino DiMare as they go up against Nate Savino, the Friday night ace for Virginia. Sophomore left-hander from Sterling, Virginia, just outside of D.C., with a 3.00 ERA gap.
Oh, Nate Savino, boy, he's got a really, really good power sinker, anywhere from 88 to 94, depending on how he's feeling, but he can change those speeds up. He's going to get a lot of ground balls because of that sinker. So as a hitter, what do you want to do? You want to try to get him up. Don't look at for fastballs inside. Those are the ones that you're going to be hitting on the ground. You got to get them out over the plate. For Savino, get that fastball in there and get some ground balls for yourself.
And there's a bowling ball coming in on the hands right out of the gates. That's how he starts out to CJ Kafis. Sophomore at first base for Miami. Ball and a strike from Savino. Nate Savino, a blue chip guy coming out of the high school ranks a few years back. And now the Friday starter. Gets a pop-up and foul ground that reaches the seats. 1-2.
And for Kafis, last year, Alex Terrell was over there at first base, so he wasn't able to really get as many ABs as he wanted to. And now it's his nod. He's the one that's going to be able to get out there and play. And he's showing Gino DiMare, hey, you've got yourself a really good first baseman over there in the leadoff spot.
Yeah, an OPS above 1,000. Gino DiMare said to us he's probably been our most consistent offensive guy in terms of doing it all. Hitting for power, hitting for average. He's one of their 2 best base runners. And he's excellent defensively too. He cues this one into short left. Tappan charges in, can't get there. It's a leadoff single for CJ Kafis.
Oh, when we were hitting, we would say, be a beaut on that one. And that just means just fall, baby. It's a 2 strikes. You want to just get it out there. Great job of throwing the hands. And you want that to fall in no man's land. And when you would get on first base, you look at the dugout, and everybody would scream at you, be a beaut.
Yeah, in the post-mortem over there, I think that's what Kafis is saying, that it wasn't a masterpiece, but we'll take it. So he's aboard for the true freshman left fielder Edgardo Villegas out of Puerto Rico, who has worked his way into this starting lineup over the course of the season. And you see his tremendous numbers, and he's coming off a huge game Wednesday in the midweek against FIU. He homered twice. He nearly homered in the third at-bat that he had in that game as well. Oh, 2 from Savino is outside.
it's something to be said about the pitching matchup. Both of these guys were on Team USA together, became friends, and all of a sudden both of them Friday night starters going up against each other. It's fun to watch good pitchers pitch, and then you get to see a guy like Nate Savino. Yes, he will be pitching in the next level because he is that good. Power sinkers play in the game, and he has a good slider and changeup too.
His slider there to Villegas, who was able to hold up. Savino deals. Got him swinging. So he goes off speed and he strikes out Villegas for the first out.
Well, we talked about that slider and how good it is, and it's got some life to it. It has a lot of bite. It's short. And the thing with it is that arm speed that he has with that slider. It breaks so much, and he throws it so hard that you can see that there's a little dot when you're hitting. He has a big dot that comes at you.
And now they've got Kafis hung up, and Virginia executes. Ortiz to Justin Rubin, and Kafis, who does run well, like we said, is out number 2.
That's Savino. He was going over there the whole time. Kafis, he was trying to go on first move, and that's what you do on the lefty. Every once in a while, you check him out and you say, okay, hey, we're going first move right here. Every once in a while, you'll be good. Sometimes you get picked off.
So now the base is empty for Miami's 3-hole hitter. Sophomore third baseman and Miami native Yo-Yo Morales with the OPS right around 1,000. Lifts this one high and deep but foul.
Yo-Yo's one of those guys, too, just like we talked about Jay Geloff. Yo-Yo Morales, he's the name that you kind of circle in this Miami lineup. You do not want him to be the one to beat you.
Well, you talked about seeing pitches up from Savino. That was, and Morales still couldn't touch it.
Well, the problem is, too, I said when a guy throws the ball up in the zone, it's tough to hit. And when Savino's throwing 93, 94 up there, it becomes even tougher. He's got good RPMs on that fastball. That ball is going to stay on plane a lot longer to home.
2-2. Strike 3 called. At the knees from Nate Savino. He looks good in the bottom of the first. Punched out Villegas with a slider and freezes Morales with a knee-high fastball. Virginia is the 3rd-ranked team in the country. I told you how good the offense is. How about that first line? All but 4 of their games have been decided by 5 or more runs this year. And Brian O'Connor made the point to us that, look, if we were just an offense, we'd be about a 600 winning percentage team. But we have the pitching and we have the defense. And this is the only team in the country top 10 in average ERA and fielding percentage, Gabby.
It's quite impressive what O'Connor has been able to do over there in Virginia with these teams. And when you look at a team that not only pitches well, not only do they hit well, but the big part for me is the way that they play defense. They're not giving up errors. They're not giving up free passes. That's what makes it tough to beat this ball club.
They are 26-3, 9-3 in the ACC. And on the road here against Miami. Coming off the run to Omaha last year for the now 19th year head coach, Brian O'Connor. 1-2 to Casey Sauke. Climbs high from Carson Palmquist. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, when I talked to Palmquist yesterday for a little while, he was telling me that slider. He's able to throw that backdoor slider now. And then with that backdoor slider, he's able to also throw that back foot slider to a righty. So what that means is that he can throw that slider away to make it look like it's a ball and come back and then throw it in.
Well, he has walked 3 of the first 6 that he has faced, though. And again, missing arm side.
And that's going to be an issue for him. He really has to bear down here, and there could be adjustments to be made on that. I know that JD talks about throwing that fastball through that first time through. That way guys don't see your sliders, they don't see your changeup, and you're able to throw that, second, maybe third time through as well. The only problem is when a pitcher is missing arm side, you have to get him back on track and get him in.
Now he goes left on left with the ultra-talented Virginia center fielder Chris Newell. He's got all sorts of tools. And took a fastball for strike one. Yeah, with Palmquist, it's really just one brutal start that he's had this year against Boston College. And everything else has been 5 or 6 innings and 1 run or no runs in every other outing, his other half dozen. He's coming off a dandy his last time out, last Friday at Duke. 6 innings, 1 run, and a career-high 12 strikeouts against just 1 walk. With Sauke aboard, that's a strike with the fastball, and it's 1-2 on Chris Newell.
Against lefties, he has no problems running that ball in, which is good for him right now. Because when you start to look at the lineup, it's okay for that to happen. The only problem is when a righty gets out there, it's missing out. So he has to try to throw these balls right there to the righty. That's what you want to see when a righty is up there. Get them thinking in. But you got to watch out because Chris Newell's got some power. The dude's got juice, and he can hit it out to any part of the ballpark. He can go out to left, center, and right, so you cannot leave a mistake to him.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Palmquist will have another check on Sauke. Yeah, Chris Newell can hit it over just about anything. We saw that firsthand in Columbia, South Carolina last year.
Ooh, I think that ball's still going. How hard he hit it. Oh, man.
2-2 inside, and by my count, that's ball 3. What's your count, Gap?
That was 2-2 for sure. I like it, though. Chris Newell's like, hey, let's see if this works. See if I can get a free pass here. I don't have to go ahead and try to get another pitch by Palmquist. You know what probably happened if I had to guess? Was it on the board or something like that? I don't think it was, but this is funny right here. Yep, thank you. I'll take my walk. Like, wait, what's going on here?
You know what? I can relate. When there's a lot of pickoffs, sometimes you just lose count. 3-2. Bouncer right side. Kafis plays it off the chest, and Newell is safe. So 2 aboard with nobody out here in the second for the Hoos.
That's a tough one. Kafis does what he has to do. He was trying to get up, so he comes up, that ball hits, you're supposed to rush like he did. The only problem is as a first baseman, you have to understand the situation, who's at first. If I do go up to get that ball, am I going to be able to put myself in position to throw to second? I think it would have been a really tough double play for him going up. So you have to just kind of sit back, get the bigger hop. Hey, he got to second base, but we're going to secure that out at first. You don't have to try to turn every single double play when the ball gets hit to you. The ball will tell you whether or not you can do that.
Brings up Colin Tuft, freshman DH out of the 8th spot, trying to play small ball here in the second.
And here's the thing, Colin Tuft, he's going to understand that it ain't easy going up there and trying to bunt against Carson Palmquist. He's coming from first base side. He's got that low quarter angle with his arm. That ball's going to kind of ride up. So as a hitter, you really have to do your job to get on top of the baseball and just get it down. Don't worry where it goes. Just get that ball down.
Tuft does get it down, and Palmquist goes to third for the force on Sauke.
Palmquist like a cat off the mound on that bunt. Yesterday when I was watching them in practice, they definitely did the bunting PFPs, and this ball gets shot out of a cannon on the bunt. It's tough. I'm telling you, it's not easy to try to bunt a guy like Carson Palmquist, and you can see it there. He still bunts it out, but Palmquist comes out quick, gets the ball, and does exactly what he's supposed to do, makes a great play to keep guys on first and second. Now a double play gets him out of this inning.
And we go to the 9th spot in the Virginia lineup for Justin Rubin, the 4th of the true freshmen in the starting 9 for Brian O'Connor. Swinging through a changeup as Rubin gets the start as a right-hand hitter against the lefty Palmquist instead of Max Codier, a left-hand hitter and the veteran second baseman for the Cavaliers. Brian O'Connor said we've been platooning them really since that first weekend of conference action.
He also said we're going to see Cody at some point in this ball game. He's a veteran player. He is that good, too.
Rubin on a line into center with Burke coming on, and he can't get there. Rounding third, relay to the plate, the tag not applied. Newell is safe, and Virginia strikes first.
That's exactly what you want to do with the relay. Great job by Rubin there, keeping his hands in close and tight and hitting a line drive. Burke did exactly what he was supposed to do. It's a great relay. Beat him there. You got to just hang on to the ball. Romero looks like it just caught him right in the heel of the glove. The throw was there. He tried to two-hand it too quick. A lot of times they'll say, listen, just catch that ball with one hand, how you're used to it, and then bring that tag. Once you catch it, that's when your hand goes in, and that's when you apply the tag. It's hard when you're trying to catch it with two hands as a catcher, especially with that catcher's mitt. There's a lot of padding in there.
And how about Justin Rubin delivering? As the Cavaliers strike first on the road in the second, and they turn the lineup over for Griff O'Farrell, who's now got runners at second and third with Tuft at third and Rubin at second.
For Palmquist, though, he was finally able to throw that fastball into the righties. That's what he needs to do. He needs to live in there right now.
And roller foul, and it's 0-2 on O'Farrell. We'll see how the pitch mix changes, if at all, second time through the lineup as well for Palmquist.
I mean, it's the adjustments that you make, right? As a pitcher, are they crushing a pitch that I'm throwing? Well, right now, no. You know, kind of Miami's putting themselves in a position with either walks or with errors to, give free passes and get guys on. So they haven't been really doing that much damage. The best bolt that was hit was by Rubin there, which was that line drive to center field.
And this is a roller to short. Patelli will take the sure thing. Tuft scores. It's 2-0 Virginia.
For O'Farrell, that's what you wanted to do. You see the defense playing back. You want to go ahead. I'm going to just do what I need to do to get a run across the board. The ball's in on the hand, and that's what we talk about with a team that's tough to beat and hitters that are tough to pitch to. It's those kind of situations. A ball in, not trying to pull it using the big part of the field.
And now Kyle Teal. One thing Brian O'Connor has said as well is that, yes, this team has hit a ton of home runs, and yes, the numbers are gaudy. But it's an offense that can be in a lot of ways, and there's a lot of athleticism 1 through 9 as well. A couple of breaking balls to Teal, and it's 0-2.
Mike, I don't think we've seen the helmet come off yet. Have you?
No.
With Kyle Teal, he has a tendency of having that helmet come off. Oof, what a pitch.
Well, Palmquist makes quick work of him. 2 sliders and a fastball, but Virginia gets the first 2 here in the top of the second at Coral Gables. An Elite 8 run for Jim Larinaga, and you get to hang out on a Friday night very comfortably, taking in the sights at the light. Maybe you get a milkshake or more than one milkshake over the course of the evening's proceedings, and you watch a top 10 series between Virginia and Miami. Max Romero jumps on the first pitch and goes yard. Oh, that is a bullet from Romero. And Miami's on the board against Nate Savino.
Oh, baby, Max Romero. That's how you answer back right there. You go up, you kind of drop the ball, you're upset with yourself, you know you should have made the play, so what do? I'm going to go do something special here, and I'm going to hit a home run, and I'm not going to wait around. It's going to be a slider, it's up there, he does a great job of turning on this pitch, and boy does he crush it. That's a line drive home run, gets out in a hurry.
And there is a reason why he went deep, Gabby. As Jacob Burke follows, rolls one to short. Griff O'Farrell throws out Burke one away. Because earlier today, Max Romero decided to change his walk-up song. This was the chatter down around the turtle during BP that Romero was making a move. And he changed his walk-up song to Madre Mia by Sergio Vargas. And I think he's going to be sticking with Madre Mia for the foreseeable future.
Isn't that a great thing? I did it. I understand it. You're up there, you're struggling, you're scuffling. It ain't me. It's the song. But once you get that song changed, all of a sudden, now I feel good. I'm feeling sexy again. And now I can go up there and I could just be me, and then you hit the home run. And it works because it's a mental game. Baseball's a mental game. And if you feel good, you're going to play good.
1-2 on Dom Patelli. It came off the bat at 101 miles an hour for Max Romero. Nate Savino had punched out two, picked off a man in the first. He gets a comebacker. O'Farrell stabs it. He spins. Gino DiMari's got in this lineup. So a home run to start this inning from Max Romero. 1 out, 1 on. And Savino's ahead of Levinson, 0-2. You know, we talked with Gino DiMari, and he said he's really pleased with the bullpen. Of course, he's definitely pleased with the starting pitching. The defense has been good, but the offense is where he's looking for a little more consistency.
Well, it's hard to not have fun with your bullpen when you have a guy at the back end of it in Andrew Walters who's basically been unhittable. Just give him the ball and you win your ball game, and let's move on.
A Miami team that has the 10-game winning streak going. Longest Miami winning streak since 2018. And at 23-6, you see the record top left of your screen. That's their best record to this point in a season through 29 games since 2016. And that year, of course, was a College World Series run for the Canes. 0-2. Levinson lays off a pitch in the dirt, and on a back pick, Savino's 2-2. Yanked foul on the ground.
And here's another nugget for you, Mike. In that 2018,
please.
when they played, that Miami actually snapped UVA's streak of 7 straight series wins against Miami. And they swept them.
Strike 3 called right there as Savino paints one on the edge and fans Levinson.
And this is what you're going to get for Savino. Man, that fastball is so good, and he's able to spot it out and in. And when a pitcher is able to spot a pitch outside with some good sink to a righty, and he's also able to throw it into a righty, that's where you get those lockups where guys can't pull the trigger.
Just off the edge to Gabby Gutierrez, freshman right fielder. You know, we talked about the freshmen starting for... Oh, I should have seen it coming. On a line foul.
I'm just saying, that's a big league name right there. You got to give it to him.
He seems ticketed to be a future New York Penn League All-Star Game MVP. 1-1. Up and away to the freshman. You know, Miami goes to Tallahassee this year.
He's going to get
Maybe the Animals will rekindle what they chanted at you.
The Animals will. And it's going to be funny, and he has to take it as a joke and have fun with it.
On the ground, left side. Geloff gobbles, and he throws out your namesake. Inning is over, but not before a rocket off the bat of Max Romero.
Oh, it's what Miami needed. They gave up 2 runs. Max Romero says, I'm going to go ahead and get one of those back for us.
How pretty is this? 3rd inning on the way. Coral Gables the site, the sun setting. Fans packed in. Top 10 showdown.
You know what's crazy, too? All the fans came. They didn't come to watch the baseball game. They were just trying to get in line and get themselves a milkshake. That's what it is. They packed out for milkshakes.
For the uninitiated, how could you be uninitiated? They're in their 37th season. Mitch Friedman, the architect, and they are delicious.
Oh, they're dangerous. You got to watch out because you go through one and you're like, I need to go get another one. So you got to be careful.
Devin Ortiz leads off for Virginia here in the 3rd against Carson Palmquist. 3, 4, and 5 for the Cavaliers, leading 2-1 in this series opener from the light. 1-2. Ortiz started to go. Did not offer at it. 2-2, according to Thomas Newsom.
Yeah, we got to talk a little bit about Devin Ortiz, too, and give him some love because what he's been doing this season, not only hitting-wise, but on the mound.
Oh, he strikes out there on a nasty changeup from Palmquist, and Ortiz is the first out.
Well, you started to talk about it. What are we going to do? Are we going to start to see a little bit more off-speed pitches? And this is a very good changeup by Carson Palmquist. The bottom just drops right off of it. Perfect location, too. He's been throwing that fastball out, staying out there. You think it's going to be a fastball, and now you're out in front.
And then he starts with a changeup as well to Jake Geloff. And we were chatting with Carson yesterday, and he said he's throwing it so much more. And the numbers back that up. Last year he threw it 6% of the time. This year he's throwing it 16% of the time. And you see he's generating 60% whiff rate on that pitch. Anything at like 40% on a changeup in the big leagues is elite. 60% is outrageous.
And the reason why is because he throws so many fastballs, right? So the changeup's going to look like the fastball.
That's a changeup. Geloff stumbled, and Palmquist throws him out. And so a changeup for a strikeout, a changeup for a slow roller, and that's what Palmquist is doing the second time through the order.
Well, you know what, too? This is J.D. Arteaga. He understands. He knows what to do. That's why that's why he wanted Palmquist to throw a lot of fastballs that first time through the order. Because now guys go up there and you're like, okay, I'm going to be ready for that fastball. And now it's not a fastball, it's a changeup because Palmquist has really good arm action on his changeup and is getting guys out in front. So now all of a sudden, if you're a Virginia hitter, you're like, okay, now I got to let that ball get in, and now you're going to get beat by a fastball.
He tried to start with another change.
Yeah, for Virginia, what you need to do is you really have to just focus in like they've been doing. You have to focus in right back up the middle with the fastball to be able to stay on that changeup.
Fastball there, but it misses, and it's 2-0 to Alex Tappan. Fifth-year senior, 5-hole hitter in left who struck out swinging on a fastball his first time. 2-0. That's outside. 3 balls and no strikes. And the pitch count is approaching 60 here for Palmquist. There's a strike. These Virginia hitters have forced Palmquist into 5 3-ball counts. Full count.
And that's why you're seeing this pitch count up so high. It's just non-competitive pitches either, which is not what you usually see in Carson Palmquist. It's just like all of a sudden he has it, he's right where he needs to be, and then all of a sudden the next guy up, he's staying open again. So he has to be able to just continue to be able to pound that zone and to get strike one. Strike one is big for a pitcher. And the reason because once you get strike one and you keep getting ahead in the counts, now as a hitter, now I have to really start to think about swinging the bat early, and now you'll get those swing and misses off balls out of the zone.
3-2. Tappan strikes out. That is a back foot slider, and one of the few sliders that Palmquist has thrown tonight.
Oh, and it was a good one. He waited, and here it is. That's that back foot slider for you.
Thursday night next week, we'll have a top 20 men's and women's lacrosse doubleheader for you on ACC Network and the ESPN app. First the men, number 7 Virginia, number 15 Duke, and then on the women's side in Charlottesville, number 1 North Carolina and number 16 Virginia on a big night of lacrosse. Well, 2-1 here, bottom of the third. Gino DiMari's group at home in the midst of a 10-game winning streak. And that came with a promise to his team as Ariel Garcia leads off against Savino here in the bottom of the third. Get 10 wins in a row, Gino DiMari told his team, and you will have a steak dinner at my expense. As Garcia pops this one up into shallow right. Casey Sauke makes the catch, and there's one away. And so on Wednesday, with a midweek win for Miami, that was win number 10 in a row. And so the steak dinner was last night, and Gino's wife and he were hard at work putting together a meal on short notice for the entire team and staff and support staff, Gabby.
So there's 2 great things about that. One, you get the 10 wins, so you're getting a free steak dinner. Number 2, you have your coach having to pay for that steak dinner. So as a player, it's just gravy. It's that cherry on top. Oh, there was nothing better than when you were playing and you did that and you were able to go to your coach's house and get that free steak dinner. Oh, yeah. It was the best meal you were having in a while.
No doubt. 1-2 on CJ Kafis. Singled and got picked off back in the first inning. Yeah, Gino said the players were all chirping at him during the game Wednesday. And they were sure to remind me in the locker room, he said. And so he asked them, when do you want to do it? And of course, being college kids, they said right away.
He said, how's tomorrow sound? Get a good meal before this Virginia team comes in.
Roller up the middle, and Kafis has his second hit of the ball game. 1-out single in the bottom of the third.
Another just great AB by Kafis. Throwing that fastball in and doesn't try to pull it, doesn't try to do too much with it. I'm just going to hit it right back to where it came from. There's a big hole right in that middle part of the field. All I have to do is just get it hard right by the pitcher. I'm going to have myself a knock. Just another outstanding AB.
Brings up Edgardo Villegas. Struck out on a slider his first time. It takes one that just misses. Ball 1 to Villegas. Last note, Gabby, on the big steak dinner. Carson Palmquist, before the game on Wednesday, so when the winning streak was just at 9 games, he was John and Gino in the dugout. And he was sitting next to Yoandy Morales, and Carson Palmquist said to Gino, "Can I wear my bathing suit over?" And Gino said, "Come on, man, we got to win first."
It's one of those things. Well, you know what? You got to have a confident player, and that's what Carson Palmquist is. He looks at Gino and says, "Hey, can I wear my bathing suit to your house and go in the pool?" And Gino just kind of threw his head back. He told me, looked up to the sky and went, "You got to be kidding me."
This one gets away from Kyle Teal, and CJ Kafis moves up 90.
It's the good parts of the game there that when you have that interaction between player and coach and player.
Well, Miami's got a man in scoring position now, down by 1 in the third. 2-1 to Villegas. Swings through a slider. And left on left, Savino's throwing some good sliders.
Oh, he has, and it's nasty. Right now for Savino, when you're facing a lefty, that slider to a lefty, it looks like it's going to hit you. And you have to let it start off further out. Just like that. That's a great take by Villegas there. But you basically have to feel like that ball is going to hit you for it to be a strike. So as a left-handed hitter, if it starts middle, you have to be able to just let it go because he's got a lot of action with it.
3-2. Strike 3 called. Well, Savino thought he threw his slider for a strike earlier in the AB. Villegas thought he had ball 4 here.
Oh, that's just a dotted fastball. Down and away right at the corner. It's a pitcher's pitch. You could go either way with that one, but as a hitter, you have 2 strikes on you. You do not want that umpire to be the one to get you out. You can do anything. You can foul it off and get yourself another pitch.
And for a guy who is new to being a full-time catcher, who his head coach says Kyle Teal's like a shortstop playing catcher, that is stealing a strike, and that is great receiving from Teal back there. 1-0 to Yoandy Morales with Kafis at second and 2 outs. And a ball and a strike now on Miami's 3-hitter.
And for Yoandy Morales, you have to think, too, man on second, you have first base open, you really have to dial in that strike zone. It's got to be a one-pitch area that you're looking for.
He hits this one hard. Center field. Gone! 2-run.
For Palmquist right now, he just has to get those quick outs because that pitch count is going up. And this Virginia team does not let go. They will fight. They'll foul pitches off. So you have to get them to make those soft outs. You got to control the zone and see if you can get guys with that changeup.
And then he elevates the fastball and he strikes out Sauke. And it's a half dozen punchies now for Palmquist.
Oh, what a good pitch. Fastball up in the zone. He's been living up there, especially with the 2 strikes. He's going to that fastball up, and it's been working for him. And if he's able to start controlling that inside part of the plate, it's going to be tough for this Virginia hitters to be able to make contact with Carson Palmquist throwing that ball from where he throws it from that comes all the way across to a righty.
Off-speed misses to start out to Chris Newell, who reached on what was scored an error on C.J. Kafis at first base back in the second. Newell came in to score what at the time was the first run in this ballgame. Opener of this series in Coral Gables. Number 3 Virginia, number 8 Miami. That one nearly hit Newell on a slider, got away from Palmquist. Two-one. Down and away, 3 balls and a strike on Chris Newell.
If Palmquist is feeling good right now, because his changeup is nasty, this would be the right time to throw it. It's a great pitch. You can get maybe a swing guy being aggressive on you, or just pump a fastball away.
That works.
That works too.
3-2. That the change there?
That was the change right there. That for 3-2 after going fastball away. Usually what a guy throws on 3-1 is what he's going to throw on 3-2. He already executed the pitch. He knows that he could throw it for a strike, and they usually go right back to it.
And now back to a fastball, but Newell spoiled it.
So you got to give credit to Newell to just be able to foul that pitch off to get himself another pitch. And that's what we talk about when you spoil good pitches. And this Virginia lineup does that a lot.
This will be the 8th pitch of the plate appearance from Palmquist to Newell. In the air toward left, and that slice is foul. You said it, these Virginia hitters have made Carson Palmquist work all night.
And you got to give credit to Brian O'Connor because he's the one that gets every guy going, hey, this is what we need to do if we're going to be successful.
Newell, great swing to left, and on the run, Villegas makes the catch in the corner. Nicely done by the freshman, and that is out number 2.
That's a very nice play. Newell does what he's supposed to do, and he rips this ball to left. But Villegas, right away, had a great turn on it. You have to remember, too, Gino DeMari, he is the outfield coach. So he's the one that's working with these guys. And one of the biggest things is, hey, we got to have that first step. We open up when we go after the baseball and get our angles going. And that was perfect angle by Villegas there.
To end a 9-pitch battle between those two. And now there's 2 away. Top 4. And to the 8th spot for Virginia to Colin Tuft. Freshman from Vienna, Virginia. 2 balls and a strike. Virginia comes in after taking 2 out of 3 back in Charlottesville against Georgia Tech. They lost on Friday by 2 runs. And then Saturday and Sunday, in each of those games, they put up 1 huge inning in both offensively to win. They had a 7-run 6th inning on Saturday in a 13-9 win. And then in Sunday's game, they had a 10-run 4th inning. Took that series. Two. Tuft strikes out. Palmquist with a sword and a strut and a smile to end the 4th.
And that's the best thing when your pitcher walks off with a smile after not being so happy his last inning.
Nate Savino gears up for the bottom of the 4th inning here in Coral Gables. And you see his line already. Brian O'Connor was saying to us, he's gotten a lot better over the course of his time in Charlottesville with this program. And something that he harped on with us and that Brian O'Connor has mentioned with Nate Savino, even going back to last year, that he's got a better understanding, Gabby, of just how to manage the game. And in his first 2 years, he didn't know that as well, but he now knows how to be efficient and to make the big pitches to avoid the big inning.
Well, when you start to look at him, he's got the stuff, right? He's got a good fastball. He can spot it in. He can spot it away. It's got heavy sink. He has a very good slider that you just finished seeing there. He has a good changeup. So stuff-wise, it's there. Now it's just, okay, how do I attack a hitter? Where do I throw my pitches? Is he opening up? Is he trying to look in? Those are keys. That's the next step in your pitching performance.
Jacob Burke rolls it to Jake Geloff. And there's 1 away to start the last of the 4th.
So that's the next step for him. It's basically, okay, what is the hitter trying to do? And then you execute pitches on that. And then the next hitter comes up and you've got to change it up. So those are the things that he's going to be working on and that he is working on. But I tell you what, stuff-wise, he is absolutely nasty.
He's got 1 away, would love a quick inning as he faces Dom Patelli, who had the infield single despite the best efforts of Griff O'Farrell back in the 2nd. Nate has talked this year about the mechanical adjustments he focused on all offseason. And as he describes it, staying straight down the mound. Last year was a lot of crossfire. He was pulling balls. The velo was dropping. His pitches weren't moving as much. And so that was the primary focus all summer, all fall. And because of that, and in part due to his other work as well, the slider has improved a lot as well.
You could see it. He's definitely worked hard, and it's showing.
Ball and 2 strikes on Patelli against Savino. Strike 3 called. That's a fastball that Patelli was not expecting. 5th strikeout for Savino, and he's got 2 quick ones in the 4th.
And he keeps doing it too. He is just putting these balls in perfect location, and that he's staying closed. He controls in, he controls out. When a pitcher is able to control both sides of the plate, it makes it tough for a hitter to be able to have success.
He leads off this Virginia rotation that has 3 lefties in it and has all season. Cavaliers will throw Brian Gursky tomorrow and Jake Berry on Sunday against a Miami lineup that again this year leans a little bit heavier on the left-hand hitting side. One is lifted by Zach Levinson to right. Long way to go for Casey Sauke, and he overran it. A foul ball, and it's 1-2.
He had to go a long way to go get this baseball. And these are the tough ones. He's on his heels there. You could see that he gets on his heels. And what happens when you get on the heels is that ball starts to shake on you, and it starts to move around. We take a look at the flag. The wind is going to be kind of blowing out to right field. So the wind had nothing to do with it. It was when he chopped, he wasn't on his toes, he was on his heels. And then all of a sudden that ball starts to shake, and you can't really tell where it is. Tough play, though. It's a long run.
He's not a natural outfielder, a freshman who has learned to play that position and has gotten pretty good. And Nate Savino picks him up by getting a comebacker. Gino DiMari will join us after the break. Fifth inning on the way in Coral Gables, and Miami head coach Gino DiMari is kind enough to join us. And Coach, what did you see on the 2 big swings from Max and from Yo-Yo?
Max, I think Max was, I'm not sure if it was a slider or not. Maybe you can help me out, you guys. But he got the bat head out. I know that. And it just, thank God the wind's blowing a little out to right, and it just got over the fence. Yo-Yo's was definitely a fastball, and he just smoked that ball. It was like on a line. As soon as he hit it, I knew it was gone. It was just absolutely crushed.
Gino, you know what's funny is that I called and I thought it was a slider, and then when I saw the replay, I'm like, I don't know, maybe it was a fastball. It was a good pitch and a good swing. What right now are you seeing in Carson Palmquist on the mound?
Well, the first few innings we had some hiccups defensively. He fell behind and walked some guys, and his pitch counts up. You know, we need a quick inning right here. Maybe get 2 more innings out of him, but you know he's up to 80 right now, so. We're going to definitely have to go to the bullpen. I know that.
Gino, thanks a lot for the time.
Okay, thanks, bye.
Yeah, he's hoping for a quick one here and would love to get through 6. He was telling us earlier this week that's sort of the next step as well in Carson Palmquist, giving you more than just the 5 or the 6. Infield single for Justin Rubin to start this 5th inning, despite the sliding effort of Ariel Garcia making his 2nd career start.
Yeah, those are the ones where, for Ariel Garcia, that you'll start to learn as you get in there and you're playing a little bit more and more. Once you go out there, you got to see who's running. You have to understand where, just go ahead and put that ball in the back pocket. We're not going to be able to get anybody out on that one. The last thing you want to do is throw that ball away and get a guy in scoring position.
By the way, before we started the interview with Gino, between innings, he was telling us about how good the steak was.
Yeah, tenderloin, chicken wings. It made my mouth start to water. I'm like, dude, you can't be doing that to me right now. You got a whole game to keep calling here.
Griff O'Farrell, the batter, takes outside.
Mike, you were real quick. You almost got left alone here while I went to go get something to eat.
It was baked ziti, Caesar salad, garlic bread, desserts, and the appetizers included sausages.
And I'm pretty sure that the baked ziti came from the Big Cheese, which is a staple down here in Miami, especially if you go to the University of Miami.
Mouths water nationwide here in the 5th inning. With Miami leading Virginia by a run. Ruben aboard to start this inning. He's got the only 2 hits for Virginia in this game against Carson Palmquist, who has struggled with his command at times. And the pitch count elevated as we talked about. The 3 walks, but only the 2 hits, and both runs unearned against Palmquist.
For Palmquist, if he's able to get that fastball in here, he could get his 6-4-3 double play.
O'Farrell's put together a really nice rookie season. 2-1. Fouls this one off, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
That was a good swing by Farrell there. It was a fastball out over the plate, exactly where he was looking, and he just missed it. Got right underneath it. But he was looking for some damage swing on that one.
Check on Ruben. You know, O'Farrell, in talking about his season as a first year, he was talking to the great Jeff White, who is one of the writers who does a very nice job covering all things Virginia athletics. And Griff said, I'm not sure if I expected it coming into this atmosphere and how it has all played out and all the success he's had. He gets jammed, then he hits a 1-hopper to second, and they won't double up O'Farrell. Too tough to turn 2 there, and Garcia gets the force over to Patelli.
Yeah, but that's still a heads-up play by Garcia there. This ball is in on the hands. It's not an easy ball to catch because that's going to have some funky spin. But he knew the base runner. He saw where Ruben was and understood that he had enough time to at least get the lead runner out. You're not going to turn 2 on it, but at least you keep a guy out of scoring position.
That's a huge spot in this game now. Kyle Teal getting his 3rd look at Carson Palmquist, and Teal was not happy with how his second trip went. 3 pitches, 2 sliders, and then a backwards K on a fastball his last time in the second.
Teal is a dangerous hitter. He can do some big things with the bat, but the problem is this is a lefty-lefty matchup, and Carson Palmquist is one of the nasty lefties in college baseball, so it's not easy, especially when he starts throwing sliders to you, slider to you. Now you're expecting I'm going to probably get another slider, and here comes that fastball.
And maybe this is a way to slow down Carson Palmquist and get him out of his rhythm.
Well, I think there's a couple things here. Yes, you're 100% correct. Doing this, you kind of get Carson Palmquist out of his rhythm. But 2, you're going to tell Teal, hey, right now you're in between. He's giving you pitches to hit, and you're taking the good pitches, and you're swinging at the bad ones. You got to be ready and just adjust to that fastball. Look fastball. If he throws you the slider, tip your hat to him. But if he gives you that fastball, boy, you better be able to jump on it.
0-1. It's a slider, and so that's exactly what the message was, because that was a swing from a guy who was geared up for the fastball.
Yep. And it had to be. And I'm okay with it. You're a hitter. Sometimes you got to just go up there. Sometimes, you know what the best thing for a guy is when the coach gives you a hit and run because you know you have to swing. There is no guessing. There is no, oh, I got to swing. It's a hit and run. And a lot of times you make some good contact, especially when you're in between.
Preseason All-American against preseason All-American. 0-2 from Palmquist. Teal caught in between, got the slider that time.
Lefties are going to see fastball slider out of Palmquist. Righties, they'll see that changeup as well. He doesn't really throw changeups to lefties. I even asked him yesterday when I talked to him, hey, how come you don't throw lefty changeup? Who cares? Throw that ball in on the hands, let that ball drop down. And he was like, yeah, maybe, but I'm going to just stay with my slider and fastball.
0-2 again is another slider, true to form.
I think we're going to be able to see an elevated fastball here. And he has been throwing that fastball in and up on the plate, especially to lefties. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's what pitch you see here.
With O'Farrell at first. 1-2. Strike three called. Fastball pinned to the outside corner. And Palmquist fans Kyle Teal.
Well, it was the fastball. It wasn't where I thought it was going to be. It's just dotted right on the outside corner. And Kyle Teal knew it right away. Walks back in frustration because he understands, man, that could have been a pitch that I could have hit.
Well, now there's 2 outs. And it brings up Devin Ortiz, who walked his first time, struck out on a changeup his second time, leading off the third. And you monitor the pitches thrown in this plate appearance as well, because if it's a quick one, maybe you can squeeze another inning or at least a few outs in the 6th from Palmquist. Ball 1.
Yeah, if I had to think, I think Palmquist, if he can get out of this inning, it might be that's it. That pitch count's already getting too high. Do you want him to go back out? It depends, of course, how many pitches he throws, but still at 91, 92, 93 pitches, that's a lot.
2-0. Season high in pitches for Palmquist is 94. And he's been at 90 or above 4 different times this year in his 7 starts to this point. 2-0. Ortiz gets under this one into right. Long way to go for Gutierrez, and he makes the catch. The freshman runs it down, and Palmquist exits and leaves him in. Manageable for Nate Savino here in the bottom of the 5th inning. 3-2 Miami leading Virginia by 1. 8-9-1 for the Canes, starting with Gabby Gutierrez.
Yeah, you look at the differences between the pitches. You have 66 right now for Nate Savino.
And Gutierrez leaves the yard. How about that swing that leads to a solo shot for Gabby Gutierrez and his first career home run?
My, Gabby Gutierrez showing off the power to right center. Gets this ball, it's a little bit elevated, and deposits it to right center field. We looked at the flags were going over there. Gino even talked about it a little bit. Thing with this ball, it was a bullet, a line drive that gets out to right center.
Sixth collegiate start for the Miami native Gabby Gutierrez. And his feet looked like they were off balance in the right-hand box, and yet he still goes oppo tank. Third home run for Miami, and a 4-2 Canes lead in the 5th. Ariel Garcia lifts this one foul. And Gabby, how good was the young bat boys dousing Gabby Gutierrez?
You're not supposed to do that. You got to keep them hot, right? Hey, don't douse me with water. I'm hot right now. Having fun, though. They also have a home run celebration. It looks like somebody gets into the laundry basket and they roll them throughout the dugout. So they're having fun over there in the Miami dugout.
This is on a line, left field base hit. So Ariel Garcia, in his second collegiate start, has career hit number 3. And the 8'9" freshman against Savino doing damage in the 5th.
Yeah, good, just a really good job of hitting by Garcia there. He gets a fastball out over the plate, extends on it, hits that ball out in front, and hits that line drive. And for Savino, it's kind of getting back on track here. It's a 4-2 ball game. You have the best offense in college baseball. You're still okay. The biggest thing now is get your team back into that dugout. So you got to do whatever you can, maybe roll a double play here, kind of get that momentum to change to go back on your side.
Brian O'Connor said it, that Miami had just jumped on a few of the mistakes from Savino, who otherwise has been his pretty standard economical self. It's never a ton of strikeouts from Nate Savino, but it's good command. It's a lot of ground balls. He hasn't walked anyone here in this one, but the 3 home runs, of course, have done the damage for the Canes. This is a Virginia pitching staff that lost 70% of its innings from last year's team, and Brian O'Connor had the number right at the tip of his tongue when we talked with him. He said the most we had ever lost in any other of my seasons here, the previous 18 seasons, was 48% of our innings. And then from last year to this year, you lose 70% of your innings.
That's tough for any coach out there. When you start to go back and you start to look and you're going, well, this guy's gone and this guy's gone and this guy's gone. And then, wait a minute, that's my whole entire staff that I was using. All right, well, we got to get back on track here. And he did a good job in recruiting and getting guys in. Got to give him credit.
Three and one on C.J. Kafis, and now a full count. Three-two. Kafis on the ground. Flip. O'Farrell's turn. It's 2. Nicely done, Ruben O'Farrell Ortiz.
That's just what the doctor ordered if you're Nate Savino. You needed the double play. Your best friend throws a very good pitch and is able to induce that 4-6-3 double play. Now he has nobody on base, and he's able to get out of this inning with just a minimum of damage.
Cut and a miss from Edgardo Villegas, who Savino has struck out each of the first 2 times. First inning on a slider swinging. Third inning, backwards K with a fastball. Good slider.
Oh, he's got a good one. It's a really good slider. It's a big league slider. It really is. It breaks a lot. It's hard. It's got the right action to it. I think it's more, how is he feeling? If Palmquist says, hey, I'm feeling good, you let him ride.
Strike 1 to Alex Tappan, who has struck out both times against Palmquist. Swinging through a fastball in the first, running the count full in the third, and then swinging through a slider. And boy, has Carson Palmquist been good in his last 4 starts. You add it all up, it's 2 earned runs in his last 22 2/3. 1-1. Tapping behind 1-2. By the way, when we asked Carson about the Chris Sale comparison, he said, oh yeah, he's heard that plenty. He said he thinks he gets a little bit lower than Chris Sale does, and I would agree with that. He said, I wish I had his slider. Tappan pops it up right side. And Garcia's got it. 2 down. Hey, Sunday afternoon, we'll have a softball and baseball doubleheader for you that starts in Tallahassee with a heck of a series. Number 3, Florida State. Number 5, Virginia Tech, noon Eastern. And then the 20th ranked Florida State baseball team in Atlanta to match up with Georgia Tech. Both games right here on ACCN and the ESPN app. Well, Palmquist trying to get through the 6th. 2 quick ones, and now Casey Sauke swings through the off-speed.
Yeah, Sauke was thinking one thing there. He wanted to leave the yard on that swing, try to get that momentum coming back.
Off the end of the bat, he cues the changeup to Kafis. Palmquist covering, and Carson Palmquist gets through 6 tonight. Economical in the 6th. His Canes lead by 2. Six of Nate Savino's outs in this game have come on the ground in his first 5 innings, and that's the standard for the left-hander. And you see the analysis of his fastball. It's a fastball that sits at 91, and it gets beaten into the ground.
And that's what happens when you're a pitcher and you have a very good power sinker. And when you look at average at 91, that means, hey, there's some pitches that I throw at 90, 89, but that doesn't mean he doesn't throw 93, 94, because he does. That's just the average fastball.
And that's a sinker at 92 to start out to Yoandy Morales, who hit the 2-run home run back in the 3rd.
Now, a little fun fact for you, Mike. Got another one for you. How about that red bat right there? You know, Yoandy Morales, he was struggling a little bit. He asked the equipment guy, hey, I need a bat. And the equipment guy from Miami is Robert McDaniel. They call him GM. Said, I need a bat. I need a new bat. I'm struggling with this one. So GM overnights this red bat for him. He gets it today in the morning. Picks up the bat, uses it in BP, and then takes it deep. How about that one for you? Got to give credit to GM. Get him a bat for a home run.
Bill?
That's. They should say, hey, you hit the home run with it. Now you pay for it.
2-2. Morales stings one up the middle, base hit. Man, 109 on his home run his last time up, and that's a bullet through the box.
The only problem is I feel like there's going to be a lot of guys asking for that red bat after these ABs. His bat is just scorched right back up the middle. And that's what Yoandy Morales does so good. Yo-Yo uses basically the big part of the field, right center field. That's why you don't see him going to too many slumps.
And even when he does slump, he stays confident. Gino DeMario would tell us that last year. He reiterated that unprompted again to us this week, that he is on the short list of most confident players Gino's ever coached.
Yeah, I played with one guy who was definitely on that short list, and Ryan Braun, very confident. And I think even Gino said it. You know, Ryan Braun and him have very similar thought process when it comes to the game. They're very confident. So you don't see them slump too much because, hey, I went 0 for 4, it doesn't matter. I'm still going to go out there and I'm still going to rake. And that's the thought mentality that those guys have.
3-1 on Max Romero.
What I'm impressed with, though, with Nate Savino is it's still 91 pitches in, and that fastball velocity has not dipped. It's still 92, 91 with some good action to it.
Palmquist, you absolutely figure, is done after his 6 innings. Rafe Schlesinger and Alex McFarland both got up for the Canes. McFarland had been up earlier as well. 3-2 is tugged past Ruben into right field, base hit. So 2 bullets here to start the 6th inning. And
has to be. It's too fun.
Savino stays in and will face Jacob Burke, who has grounded out both times against Savino. First 2 on, nobody out, last of the 6th. Savino trying to keep this a 2-run deficit. This is the game management that Brian O'Connor has long talked about. Burke tugs one past Geloff down the line. Fair ball into the corner. Morales scores from second. Romero stops at third, and Burke adds on. It's a 3-run Miami lead in the 6th.
Oh, Burke does exactly. He's going to be aggressive. He gets a slider. It's out over the plate. It doesn't really have that much action, but he catches it out in front and just hugs it down that third base line. That's a bullet down that third base line. Nothing that Geloff could do there.
Well, we showed you it's just Kasanovic, the righty in the bullpen for Virginia. And this is a left-hand hitter, so Savino stays in. And this very well might be the last guy he faces, Dom Pitelli, who's got an infield single and a strikeout looking against Savino so far.
You have infield playing back up the middle, so this is one for Dom, just trying to make contact and stay in the big part of the field.
0-2.
Now I wonder with 2 strikes, if all of a sudden they're going to bring everybody in and try to get that out at home, or if they're just going to go ahead and concede the guy on third. Yep, here they come. This is the smart move. I think you have to make this move. You're down by 3. You got 2 strikes on the hitter. Now all of a sudden you make it a little bit harder on him.
That hits Pitelli. A breaking ball that just comes too far inside from Savino. And so it loads up. He does stay in to face the righty Kasanovic. First pitch. Breaking ball, and he lifts it foul to start out. Levinson, junior college transfer. Spent 1 year at a JUCO here in Florida. And has arrived to Miami as a power source. Couple of home runs for him already. He's been seeing more regular playing time over the last few weeks. Started with the Clemson weekend in mid-March, and only more so the last 2 weekends. Elevated fastball, and it's 0-2.
And that's a fastball that you're looking for in this situation. It's an elevated fastball out over the plate. Just got underneath it. And now you got to just battle here. But you're still thinking, I would rather strike out than just try to put the ball in play. I still need to have hard contact.
Kasanovic tried a breaking ball that time. Good stop back there by Kyle Teal, who Brian O'Connor was having a lengthy conversation with when O'Connor came out to make the change. 1-2 pitch. This is lifted high in the air, but foul by Levinson.
Now this is where you think that elevated fastball is going to come into play. Throw this fastball up. Right now, when you're looking at Levinson is on the off speed. So you want to elevate that fastball, something out of the zone, and see if you can get that swing and miss, get yourself an out, and now you can try to get yourself a ground ball double play out of the inning.
1-2 pitch on the ground towards short. O'Farrell, Rubin. It's 2. Romero scores from third, and it's a 6-2 Miami lead.
And that's what it was. It was that elevated fastball. It was up in the zone. It was a good pitch. He got the ground ball. They were able to turn the double play, but that run ended up still coming in.
Probably a trade you'd take on both sides, perhaps.
Yeah.
And now Gabby Gutierrez looks at ball one. First career home run from Gabby Gutierrez, his last time up, out of the 8th spot. A young man who is so close to his family and has described the journey for his parents to get him to this point. He said, "My parents came over in a raft from Cuba, and it took them a week to get from Cuba to the Keys. And here in Florida, he has been so close to him. In his first year at the college level, in his 6th start, he is the biggest swing of his young life in the biggest college baseball series going on across the country this weekend."
Wow, what a story that is. And looking here, he actually went to Doral Academy, where my high school coach is actually the coach there, Ralph Suarez, who has been doing it for a very long time, because I'm a little up there in age. And the man is still out there and still coaching really well and producing players. Like not only him, but Dominic Patel also went to Doral Academy as well.
2-2. Strike 3 called. Great.
Good. He has a slider and a changeup to go with that 95 to 99 mile an hour fastball.
Virginia is happy to see Carson Palmquist go, but they've got to deal with 97 right out of the chute to Chris Newell. As 7, 8, and 9 come up for Virginia. Newell, Tuft, and Rubin the next 2 spots. Those are both righty hitters. We'll see if instead maybe we get, let's say, Ethan Anderson and Max Codier in those spots with Virginia down by 4. Three balls and no strikes. And remember, the only guy that had a hit against Palmquist was 9-hole hitter Justin Rubin. He had a single up the middle and then an infield single in the 5th. Everyone else was 0 for 19 against Palmquist. And now Newell gets aboard with a 4-pitch walk to start.
And this is what Virginia needs to do here. You go ahead and you let McFarland pitch. One of the big things with him is that control issue. When he's on, he's nasty. But sometimes you can't really find it, or he's going to be erratic with that fastball. So you kind of just let him pitch. Once he shows that he's back in command, then you go ahead and you start to swing.
This is Colin Tuft. The right-hand hitter takes the breaking ball that misses from McFarland. Tuft reached on a fielder's choice and then scored on the RBI ground out in the 2nd from Griff O'Farrell. And then Tuft struck out swinging on a fastball from Palmquist that ended the 4th. Brian O'Connor said Tuft is a line drive type of guy. He's a good runner. Get down the line in 4.2 or 4.25, pretty good from the right side. That's a fastball for a strike, and it's 1-1. He's worked some walks. He's been hit by some pitches. Came in with an OPS right around 870. Swings through the slider.
That's a tough pitch, right? You're looking for 97, 98 miles an hour, and then you go ahead and get a dotted slider on the outside corner. And that's what makes McFarland so good, is that fastball is hard. I mean, it's a good fastball. If he's able to get that ball across the plate, and then he's able to drop down that slider, woo, boy, big things for him.
This one kicks away, but no movement from Newell at first. And now Romero wants an appeal. And he didn't swing. It's 2-2.
Like, nah. Come on now.
Anything worth having is worth asking for, though.
That's true. Never know. You can always ask. What's the worst that they can say, no?
Two. Tough stays alive. Better job here on these last couple of sliders.
And that's a good AB by Tough there, just to foul that pitch off. That is not easy because you know that he is sitting fastball. You have to sit fastball. He's 97, 98 miles an hour. You have to be sitting fastball. So to be able to go ahead and just foul off that slider, not an easy task. Great AB by him.
2-2. On the ground, right side, Kafis, Patelli, safe at first. We told you Tough runs well. It is very hard to double him up. So there's one away.
Yeah, everything was perfect here. Kafis does his job, gets it on the big hop, gets it over quick. Patelli throws it over, but there's no way you're getting Tough down that first base line. Way too fast.
Brian O'Connor will stick with the right-hand hitting Justin Rubin. He's 2 for 2 so far. RBI single up the middle in the second. And then, as we said, the infield single his last time in the fifth. Backup slider misses.
You know what? I like that with Coach O'Connor there. Leave the guy in. He's swinging the bat well. He was the only one to get the hits off of Carson Palmquist. Hey, stay in there. You're hot. Your eyes are already visually seeing it. It's not easy coming in off the bench and trying to hit 98, 99 miles an hour.
Boy, and if he can find a way on here, you'd have 2 on, 1 out, and a guy struggling with his command a little bit for the top of your lineup. 2-0. There's a strike with a heater. Two and two.
Ooh, he took a little bit off of that one. You can tell it was just kind of, let me get a strike here with this pitch. 94 miles an hour, and he took a little bit off, though, Mike. It's still coming in firm.
What a luxury. With Tuft at first, 1 out in the 7th. Miami by 4. McFarland's 2-2. And Rubin stays alive, as McFarland said, I'm not holding back on this one.
And that is tough. And there you go. You get to see it. 2 for 2. The only guys with getting hits tonight is Rubin. The rest of the team 0 for 20. And this is the best hitting ball club in the NCAA. So you have to give credit to that Miami pitching staff.
They average 11 runs a game. On the ground, right side, Kafis is a vacuum, and Patelli stayed on the bag. Those are the 2 best defensive players Miami has. They combined for out number 2.
Oh, that was a big play. Patelli does a good job of not coming off this. It's the big hop. The running is kind of what gets Kafis there. You have to set your feet and make that strong throw. You want to keep running, of course you do, but what happens is you start to get that arm, it starts to drop, and when that arm drops, that ball is going to go up in the air. So there he could have caught that ball, set his feet, and thrown hard to first base, or to second base, sorry.
Nice job by Patelli doing the splits to get his guy Kafis out number 2. And now the lineup does turn over for Griff O'Farrell, who has walked and supplied an RBI ground out. Goes back in the 2nd. This one gets away from Romero, whose throw kicks off the glove of Garcia into center. So Rubin moves up 2 bags, and now he's at 3rd, and it's 2-0 on O'Farrell.
Romero does a good job of getting to this baseball throws it up. It's really not that bad of a throw. Garcia does have to jump just a little bit, but it's one of those you got to try to just knock that ball down. You're not going to get an out. Got to try to keep that ball in the infield so you keep that runner at second rather than third, where it's a little bit easier to score from third with 2 outs than it is from second.
Called a strike, 2-1. By the way, Garcia getting the start at second because Dorian Gonzalez, another freshman, he's unfortunately banged up. He had started every game this year coming in. 3-1 on O'Farrell. Dorian Gonzalez got hurt in the game Wednesday, and we'll see his status going forward. 3-1. O'Farrell takes a cut at it, and it's a full count. Crucial hinge pitch in this ball game. 3-2. On the ground, foul. And we'll do it again.
That ain't fair. You're up there, it's a 3-2 count. You're like, got to get a fastball, right? And then you get a slider, and a slider for a strike. What a fight.
With Ruben at third. 2 outs in the 7th. 3-2. Up and in, ball 4. Night 0 for 3. All against Carson Palmquist. Of course, another lefty. Ball 1 to start out.
Schlesinger's got to watch out, though, because he has to come to a complete stop. He didn't really come to a stop there. They can call a balk here, and all of a sudden you give up a free run and put another guy in scoring position.
His 1-0. Better job of it that time, and he spots the fastball for a called strike.
You got to be real careful here with Kyle Teal, though. This guy can swing the bat. He can make this a real quick one-run ball game because he can hit the ball out of any single ballpark.
Two on, 2 out, 1-1. And Teal takes a mighty hack at the slider.
That's what he's waiting for. He was looking for it, you can tell. He was a little bit behind on the fastball. He was looking for that off-speed pitch. He got it. He just missed it. What a good swing he had on it, too.
Now what does he do with 2 strikes against the freshman southpaw? 1-2. Teal stays alive, got another slider.
Ooh, I would have think that they would have gone ahead and throw that elevated fastball. Then you go back to the slider. But I like an elevated fastball here. Something out of the zone. You do not want to leave it down the middle. But you can elevate on Teal.
1-2. And Teal spoils another. Preseason All-American. And a guy who looks to be a first-round pick next year. Trying to come through for the third-ranked team in the country. Popped up. Third base side. Morales puts it away. Virginia leaves 2, and the freshman lefty getting Kyle Teal right there to end the top of the 7th. And now Paul Kasatovich gets a roller off the bat of Ariel Garcia. A flip and out, and 4 outs on 11 pitches for Kasatovich since he came into this game.
And that's exactly what Kasatovich needs to do. He needs to go out there, get quick outs. You got to get your offense back on the field and start trying to score some runs. So this is a big inning here. I know that you look at the deficit, you're saying you're down by 4. That does not matter with this Virginia team. They can put up runs in a hurry.
Kasanovic, by the way, one of the guys who Brian O'Connor said, really keep an eye out for him. He hasn't pitched a ton for him yet this year, but they feel good about the arm that he is for them going forward. And this guy has been at the collegiate level for a very long time. He is a California native originally. And if you go back all the way to 2016, he was playing college football in New Mexico. He was a tight end. After a year of that, changed schools, started playing baseball. And then the last handful of years, he's been with this Virginia program.
I mean, he's built. You could just see him. Big man on the mound there. Big body. You could see why he was a tight end. And that's the competitive nature as well, that football competitive nature on the mound.
Full count against C.J. Kafis from Kasanovic, who was slowed at the start of this season. He was hurt in the back half of last year, didn't pitch. But a great story and an arm to watch going forward. 3-2. That's up high, ball 4. So C.J. Kafis works a 1-out walk, and he's on for the 3rd time tonight.
That's just another good AB by Kafis. Lets this one go. It's up in the zone. 3-2 count. Understanding the strike zone, knowing where he's at. And there's nothing better as a hitter when you know that strike zone, and as soon as he lets it go, you know, no, that's going to be a ball. Take my free pass.
Brings up Edgardo Villegas. 1 out, 1 on. Villegas takes strike 1. And Villegas is not only producing with the bat, he's done it all with, well, maybe not right now, but for the most part with a smile on his face. That's what Carson Palmquist said to us. He just smiles all the time. Rolls this one to second. Ruben flips, so Farrell turns. It's 2. Paul Kasanovic hasn't. And this is what Miami has received more of recently. Better work in all facets of the bullpen. You can bring in a McFarland. You can go left on left with a Schlesinger against Teal. And then you can line up your righty for the next 4 spots that are all right-handed sticks in Virginia's lineup. Ortiz stays alive.
This is a good fastball coming at you. Has some good movement, too. He manipulates the laces a little bit, too. He gets a little bit of sink on it every once in a while where you see that ball just kind of dive down and out of the plate.
0-2 again. Breaking ball cut on and missed. That is filthy from Gage Zeal, who punches out Devin Ortiz for the first out in the 8th.
Boy, what a filthy slider. Look at the movement on that pitch. It looks like it's to strike the whole entire way, and as it's getting to the hitting spot, just completely dives down and away.
Now Jake Geloff, the best hitter in the country through the first half of the season. All sorts of honors, including mid-season Player of the Year honors from D1 Baseball this week. And he's down 0-2. Can't touch 95 from Zeal.
And for Zeal, first pitch he throws him had some sink to it, some good action. That one more of a four-seam elevated up in the zone. And you can see that Geloff was kind of underneath it just a little bit because he's thinking it's going to be that same sinker.
No chase this time.
Now this is going to be an interesting pitch because you know you had that nasty slider. You just finished throwing it. You went elevated fastball. I feel like you've got to go back to that slider right here and see if you can put Geloff away.
Zeal does. That is disgusting from Gage Zeal. And he has punched out the 3 and 4 hitters for Virginia with sliders.
It's just filthy, especially the way that he worked this AB. He went fastball, had a little sink to it, four-seam fastball more up in the zone. 0-2, let me go ahead and throw this fastball out over the plate, up high, and I'm going to go through my nasty slider. And you saw there, Jake Geloff just out in front, could not make contact.
Alex Tappan bounces the first pitch to Yo-Yo Morales, and Gage Zeal says, how about that? The heart of the lineup for Virginia, and Zeal breezes right through him in the 8th. Miami on a 10-game winning streak. They are first in the Coastal. They have the best record in the ACC at the start of the weekend, 10-2 in league action. Virginia, of course, second in the Coastal, second best record overall in conference play at 9-3. And boy, is this Miami team staying hot.
And that's what happens, too. It's that confidence level for a team. When you're going out there and you have finished just sweeping North Carolina, you go over there to Durham, you sweep Duke, you're coming in, you're feeling good as a team, you're having fun playing good baseball right now.
Paul Kasanovic back to work. 3, 4, and 5 for Miami. And Kasanovic trying to make sure that Virginia comes up in the 9th only down by these 4 runs. 1-1. Virginia's only got the 3 losses this year. They're all in ACC play. 1-run loss at Duke in the second game of a doubleheader. A loss in the finale at Wake Forest. And then last Friday in a 2-run loss against Georgia Tech, for a team that was unranked, according to D1 Baseball, to start the year. Then they climbed up to 10th pretty quickly. And then after that Wake Forest weekend, they went all the way up to 4th in the country. And now sitting in the 3 spot with the second best record in the nation, behind only Tennessee, number 1 in the land.
Tennessee has a good ball club. Oh, man, they could hit, they could pitch. That's a good team there.
Morales strikes out. Kasanovic goes off speed for the first out in the last of the 8th.
Hey, Kasanovic has been throwing the ball really well today. He's got some good action on his pitches. He's got a good changeup. He's able to use it on both sides of the plate. He's able to command it whenever he wants. And he's given innings. When you talk about a 3-game set, if you're able to have a guy kind of lengthen out and give you a lot of innings, it helps your bullpen out for Saturday and Sunday.
By the way, to close the book on Tennessee, our ace statistician, J.D. Rutledge, reminds us that Tennessee right now leading Missouri, last of the 7th in that series. 4-3, the Vols lead. Top 9, it would be 6, 7, 8 for Virginia. And you would assume it's against one of the best closers in the country, Andrew Walters. Nice backhand stab by Devin Ortiz. And they retire Max Romero. Hey, spring football season rolls on. 6 more games tomorrow. It starts with Boston College at 11 a.m. Eastern. Then it's Clemson with its orange and white scrimmage. Carolina spring game at Kenan Stadium. Garnet and gold game at Florida State at 5. NC State at 7 in Raleigh. And then the blue gold game at Heinz Field for the Pitt Panthers. You going to be tuned in, Gabby?
It all depends. Which one you doing?
I will be in Raleigh, North Carolina.
And that's the one that I'll be tuning into.
Maybe we'll see if Tommy Tanks wants to stop by.
I heard you bought his shirt. You going to ask him to sign it for you?
Yeah, we're waiting on our free shirts.
Yeah, where is it, Tommy Tanks?
Ball 1 to Jacob Burke. He had the RBI double down the left field line his last time in the 6th. And he hits this one well. Right field to the wall and caught and hung on to by Casey Sauke. Kasanovic throws a 1-2-3-8. Last licks for Virginia, down by 4 after this. Doubleheader starts with softball. Number 5 Virginia Tech, number 3 Florida State, noon Eastern. And then, right here on ACC Network and the app, Florida State and Georgia Tech baseball follows, 2 Eastern. All right, 9th inning. Virginia trails Miami by 4, and Miami brings on its closer, the nasty Andrew Walters.
He's just incredible. He leads in everything, it seems like, on the pitching mound. 9 saves, 31 strikeouts, 2 base on balls. The man has not given up a run yet. 16, just think about that. 16 and 2/3 innings, 31 strikeouts. It just seems like this year he has been unhittable.
And he's doing it with basically one pitch, Gabby.
A fastball. That's it. He doesn't need anything else. Here's the fastball. If you hit it, you can rename it.
He's got a curve, he's got a change. But as he has said, mainly I work with a fastball up in the zone. And when we chatted with Gino Damari about Andrew Walters, he said it's so effortless the way he throws his fastball. I think there's even more velocity in the tank than the mid-90s. I mean, that is an easy 94 spinning out of the right hand.
It is an easy 94, and it's funny because we keep going with Carson Palmquist is because I stayed with him, talked to him about 30 minutes yesterday, and he told me, he was like, I try to tell Walters every once in a while, like, if you haven't pitched midweek and you haven't thrown the ball and it's Friday, he's like, let it eat, dude. Let's see how hard you can throw. And Walters like, nah, here's just 94, 95, nice and easy.
Easy 95 running up and in to make it 1-2 on Casey Sauke. 6-7-8 for Virginia. Sauke, Newell, and Tuft down by 4. Carson Palmquist, by the way, he's like, Gabby, can you leave me alone, please? 1-2.
And I said no.
It's fouled off.
I said, you get back over here. You're going to talk to me.
Oh, that's good. One, two again. Strike 3 calls. All fastballs from old 2-1. There's one away.
It's just crazy to me to think that a guy goes up there and just throws fastball, 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 but he's so good at throwing that fastball up in the zone. Good spin rate on that fastball too. High RPM rate. That fastball is going to stay there. It's not going to dip down. Usually a fastball will kind of dip down. Well, this one stays on plane, so guys swing right underneath it.
Now Chris Newell. He walked his last time. One of the few base runners Virginia's had. They only have the 2 hits. They have worked 5 walks, 3 of them against Palmquist, 2 of them against McFarland. And it has been 5 really impressive arms for the Canes tonight. The 1-1. That misses. Next 2 games of this series, by the way, 7 o'clock Eastern tomorrow, 1 o'clock Eastern Sunday. Both of them you can watch on ACC Network Extra. 2-2.
And Mike, you know, some people will say, well, why doesn't he just every once in a while go ahead and break off that, curveball or that changeup? And why would you? If you're throwing your fastball and you're being productive with it, there's no reason to go to anything else. Here it is, and hit it.
2-2. Fouled off by Newell. He's had
got to it. He tried to jump over, and nope, he just missed it, and he falls down.
A for effort. Seriously. A new life for Newell. Can he start something with one out in the ninth? 2-2 from Walters. In on the hands and popped up. Garcia puts it away, 2 down. Miami trying to take a 2-game lead in the Coastal and make it 11 wins in a row. They lead by 4, and it's a pinch hitter for Virginia. It's Ethan Anderson, the switch hitting freshman from Virginia Beach. Bats for Colin Tuft. Anderson, a guy they like. He has performed well, started a bunch so far. He's got good numbers, and OPS at 900. Did have a little bit of a hand issue, but he's back healthy again. One. Morales puts it away, and Miami wins.